And what's your definition of God? I've heard several stories of conversations you've had and chats with people, and you're like, look, here's what God to me,
Well, listen, we use the G word, right? We call him God, a man-constructed word, right? But God is love, and everything that is created is born out of love. The problem is man operates his eyes, and he operates off his right and wrong, good versus the evil belief system. Well, they look at something, they go, well, that certainly isn't love. You're trying to tell me that's love? That was born out of love? You see, it's just how man sees things. And that's why he says, don't walk by sight. So isn't that something? It's like we continually do the opposite. He says, don't walk by sight. Don't judge by outward appearance. Well, what do? We look out the window and we say, that's not good.
Good.
Don't try to tell me that's good.
Right.
So don't tell me there's a good God that would do that. So that's what you hear all the time.
And God is all.
Listen,
There's nothing that's not God, right? There's not the good, the bad. It's all. We
right.
label things.
Joseph says, "Oh, well, the problem is you saw it as bad, and he meant it for good." Job said, "Oh, we take the good, but not the bad from God." That's why he said in Isaiah, "I do both the good and the evil, saith the Lord." So the problem is we just can't. That's just
right.
That's just too much.
Yeah.
It's just too much. So because of our belief system of right and wrong, listen, there's got to be a good guy and there's got to be a bad guy.
And good ways to be and bad ways to be. And good ways to act and bad ways to act.
Right.
And the burden, if you're acting bad, you better have some burden to carry along with that.
Yeah, you should. You should feel guilty about that.
Right.
What a message.
Right? Yeah.
Well, you should feel guilty. That's a good thing for you to feel guilty.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's an amazing thing. So I hear this all the time in the church world when I was growing up. Well, God allows these things, Well, last thing I checked, there's only one creator. There's only one will and there's only one power. So I guess they think Satan's a creator. That's the only thing I can think.
Right.
And they still think he's alive.
Because why would these...
And he's got to be alive. He's got to be alive.
Right.
Because who else is out there doing the bad stuff? So he's got to be alive. Even though, this book again, they're in the wilderness, it says, hey, if you look upon the serpent on the pole, ye shall live. Well, what's the next picture? Well, Christ on the pole. What does it say? It says that he became sin. Well, everything died. Listen, everything died on the cross. It says that man died, was buried, and resurrected as a new creature in Christ Jesus. So man died on the cross. The serpent died on the cross. Sin died on the cross. The law died on the cross. Everything died. It says the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, which was a fig tree, withered and died. Everything died. All of it. And that's why it says, old things passed away, behold, all things became new. All of it. Well, we can't. That's just too much.
Right.
It's too much.
Oh, man.
You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying to you is this idea of human beings, this idea of human beings separated from God, this idea of human being died.
Right.
So listen, there's no Dan.
Yeah. No Tom. Right.
See, we think dying to self means, well, I'm a billionaire and, what I want to do today is go out and buy, 3 or 4 Lamborghinis. That's what I want to do today. But I'm going to die to self, and I'm going to go buy a bunch of blankets and go help the homeless.
Do some more acts.
You know, it's always behavior. It's always, and when you go to church, you're sitting there. You know what translation you get? Behavior. Everything's behavior. Okay. And so anyway, they think dying to self is, you know, doing this behavioral thing. Well, listen, dying to self means there's no more self. That's just too much. So for me to say there's no Dan, then what's left? Well, there's only God. So when people come to me and say, "What do you believe in?" I say, "Well, I believe in God." But when I say I believe in God, it means there isn't anything else. There isn't anything else.
Yeah.
I'm not doing anything. Listen, this is why Jesus says, "I can of my own self do nothing." That's why the picture of King Nebuchadnezzar is out on the hill. He says, "Look at all the things my hands have made." And the next picture is he's out in the grass gnawing on the pasture. And what does he do? He says, "All the inhabitants of the world account for nothing." It says when we believe we're something, we deceive ourselves. I mean, you know what? Our eyes are lying to us. We keep believing our eyes. And our eyes keep telling us we are something. Well, guess what? We're not in the equation. We never have been in the equation. And I know that's too much. And I know when I'm saying these things, it sounds crazy.
So